somebody.
Yo, what's going on? This is Out of Our Podcast with another episode. My name is Chase, and you're now.
With D Smell. Hey, you're a financial coach. What's going on, guys?
What's going on? Let me see. It's been over a month since we recorded, right?
Yep.
Um, we talked about dollar cost averaging in
Yeah.
that video. How your investments been going?
Going pretty good. Matter of fact, and I forgot today since I had some things lined up. I'm going to give me a couple of more stocks, and it's been going okay. What about you? I
It's been
see
it's
you've
been
been
going
dropping
good.
it.
Yeah, I've been really going through the categories through Cash Out. Also paying attention to like other investment groups on Facebook. What you sent me, I haven't really, how you say that, dove too deep in.
You're right.
Okay,
Or researched or
yeah,
looked
I
at.
haven't
Yeah.
really
Yeah,
just to see.
don't fit in.
Yeah, I really haven't just dove in to see what other people are talking about. That company that you talked about, Boeing, around probably like August 4th or 5th, it's gonna be the best time to buy. It's gonna go down to about 170. It's about 230 something right now, I believe.
Yeah.
But that was from 2 weeks ago. Last time I went through
And looked at
to
it.
see what was the 200 moving day average and what was the share price from 2 weeks ago. But other than that, that's how investing been going on. But
Well, I need to wait then. That's the one I
yeah,
was gonna get.
yeah.
I was gonna buy. So
How's everybody out there that's listening? How y'all been doing? Y'all can reach out to us. Her information is right there in the bottom left. You can reach out to me. My link in the description will be in the bio. Her direct link is in the bio as well. Um, yeah, I guess let's talk about what we're gonna get into.
yeah,
But before
before.
we do that, let's talk about what do we admire about each other. You go ahead.
Oh, let's see. Okay, me first. I admire the fact that I am so proud of you with your investing tips. So I'm guilty of this. So guys, y'all listen. This is my confession. I need to go back and watch you. But that's only because I've been busy. But I admire the dedication you're doing on that investing portion because I know at first I was trying to get you to do that and you were like, no, I don't want to invest. I'm taking my money out, and then now you're back in it. And the fact that so many people are reaching out to you because they're learning so much just on your information you're giving. So I admire that. Keep that up. Great
Okay.
job.
But do you remember why I got out of it?
Yeah, it's not about the why.
But that was the why.
I mean,
The
well,
why is the most important
well,
part.
for me, it wasn't about the why at that time, but it was just why you was getting out.
And I told you it was
Yes.
about to be a lot of bankruptcy going on.
Yeah. But I mean, it wasn't all companies though. But I mean, it wasn't all company. I mean,
Correct.
what I'm saying is, I guess from my standpoint and age thing, investing long term is something that I wish I had the opportunity to do at your age.
Mm-hmm.
Two, yes, when you do your research and educate yourself and know that it's a threat or things like that coming, yes, that's great. But at the same time, because you know more about investing and stuff, and you know it go up and down and things do bankrupt, but you just got to know that particular industry or whatever is gonna be the one that you don't get anyway. So when you start understanding the market,
Mm-hmm.
the investing in the game of how it's done, then you can be around. You know, you can work your way around those type of things because it's gonna happen again.
Right. Because I know I was aware of what was going to come.
Right.
And when I told you I was taking my money out, and it was just me being aware.
Yeah.
But the more I start going, as I learned from 19 to 20, no matter where I start going, no matter what I do, that path is going to always give me more information because the more you do it, the more people, the more research going to be thrown your way.
And
the
a
more
better
your mind,
understanding.
the
Yeah.
more your mind gonna start comprehending different things.
Mhm.
Since I already knew that, but I knew the most important part was wait till next year. But I didn't know next year was gonna be actually so soon,
Mhm.
and I took advantage of that. But thank you.
You're right. Yeah.
One thing that I admire about you is how you show your loyalty and just following that principle of who you loyal to and the things that you loyal about. I didn't realize how I hold loyalty in my life. So I value loyalty high, but it clicked while I was driving, and I realized I was like, that's gonna be what I'm going to tell my mother. That's what I admire about her loyalty. Cause
Mm.
I mean, I knew like this was like previous. It's not even previous. It's been a thing for me, and I pay attention to how people move when things are going bad in their life and how they react and things like that. And I guess just from watching you and paying attention and listening to like just eavesdropping on your conversations and stuff like that, it kind of came full circle when I was driving, and I was just like, dang, that's where I got my loyalty from. And I didn't realize it, but that's what I'm telling you. I admire your loyalty.
Oh, thank you.
Okay.
Yeah, that's it's a big thing for me. I think for me, friendship and stuff like that, I value a lot, and I hate that my friendships that I had when you were younger, and I'm glad you still have it with them. That it's not the same,
Mhm.
and I question me,
Mhm.
but then I question the point of thinking back and meditating and marinate on the things what I did as a friend. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't getting it back,
Mhm.
and then as I became more involved on making my life better, the man part came later. And when I got who I'm with now, with my husband, it's like all the friends disappeared. It
Mhm.
was like it was okay when I had all my time for them
Mhm.
and their relationships. And this is just my opinion, and I may be wrong. So if they ever listen to this is my
Right.
thing to you guys, my friends, that my childhood friends. It was okay for me to be there in your happiness and your relationships, and because my relationships wasn't like that,
Mhm.
and because I didn't put up with a whole bunch. But then when I did have that one relationship that I stayed in,
Mhm.
with Derek, it was, you were fine with it because he wasn't. It was kind of like, to me, like a negative mark to
Mhm.
them, because everything else she do is great,
Mhm.
but her relationship is one thing that I probably got a step ahead.
Mhm.
It didn't work, didn't do this, da da da. But at the same time, their relationships wasn't perfect either. But I stood behind them because they loved this man. So I just wanted that same reflection, that
We call this same energy.
same energy from my friends, and I didn't get. So when I did become happy, then I lost friends.
Mhm.
So, which is cool. It's a learning lesson, and I think, and I've always say this. Now I understand when people say that you'll go through a season with different people,
Mhm.
and so with them, they were just my childhood friends, and so we will always have that. Y'all always got that relationship with y'all cousins and stuff
Mhm.
now, and them your aunties, and forever to be your aunties, because I introduced you,
Mhm.
that part of my life to you, and so I'm happy. There's no regret or anger, because I love them all. I'ma still love them, but sometimes I think uh, you grow apart,
Mhm.
and I think that's what it is. I grew apart, and I really understood that it wasn't me. Maybe it was something they were going through, and they didn't know how to tell me. But
Right.
we just grew apart like that.
You're right.
So I think that, I leave it at that. I can go on and assume anything and everything,
Right.
but I just wanted to put it out there. This is just how I felt, and now I've said it a couple of times to one of my childhood friends when we tried to work out, and it just
Mhm.
didn't feel the same, and I knew then that I have outgrown this
Right.
relationship, this friendship,
Right.
because so much has happened in the years in between, so it wasn't the same.
Right. I know since I value growth and I cherish growth in time, something that I've been understanding. Shout out to a guy on 19 Keys. He said this and it made me think. We have like this counsel culture,
Mhm.
but it's not really counsel. It's not really counseling somebody out. It's just like for the time being, we're gonna drag you for the couple of days, but when you do something great, we're gonna cheer you on. But he said something that stuck out to me. He said, if there's no uh, establishment that doesn't offer counseling, but they do offer counseling, then that's not something that you should get your time into. If they willing to counsel you and not counsel you, counsel like
Cancel,
yeah,
ended, yes,
ended,
and then counseling,
counseling,
yes.
yeah.
I'm
If
with you.
if they don't have a chance to counsel you, where if you make a mistake and they be able to be there with you, vice versa, and it's
Mhm.
just not one sided. Um, I thought about that and it just put more in perspective of okay, that also go into when I talk to people about my turn ons and turn offs. One of my turn offs is I don't like hypocritical people.
Right. We
And
talked about that.
some people don't get it, and some people don't realize that they do it subconsciously. And yeah, I'm a person that like to hold people accountable because I know they're gonna hold me accountable. So it kind of makes it easier for me to weave out people, but also just realize like if you come back, we still gonna talk about this first before anything else,
Right, for
and
you.
realize no need to continue to waste our time thinking, oh, he forgot about that. We're gonna keep. No, it's like I realize let's work on the things that we don't really have to be unfamiliar, uncertain about, or assume that something else is what it is. Instead of let's talk about
Yeah.
it. And of course, there's gonna come a time where y'all gonna have indifferences. But if one person keep trying, it's like all right, there's no need to keep going forward. But it's just something that I think I'm gonna start implementing in one of those questions. Is this a place where you're going to offer counseling, just in case if I do make a mistake, because I know you will want me to understand your mistake.
Yeah.
And I think that's just from business partners, future friends, future relationships, just
Yeah.
anything moving forward. And it just stuck out to me. So it's just like, it's also just putting it back up under the umbrella of being hypocritical.
Yeah. Yeah. That's
Um,
good.
I know earlier you was talking to me and bragging me about Sonic,
Hmm.
talking about how kids want to spend the parents' money, and then as we get older, our budget change.
You're
What do
right.
you have to say about that, little lady?
He's so funny. So, Chase, I'm gonna give y'all a peek of Chase's childhood growing up. So, um, when Chase, I guess you were working, or maybe he was out of graduated. I can't remember. The time is fuzzy. But we had brought this conversation up once before when he made the statement that Sonic, the restaurant Sonic, was high, and I was like, "Oh no, not your favorite." So, as a single mother, we have those days where you don't want to cook, and you always ask your kids, "Hey, I'm get something fast because I'm tired." Chase will always want Sonic. He will pick the highest damn fast food place, and so as Chase and got older, him and his brother, and they were working and we were out. I was like, hey, y'all got your own money. What y'all want? Chase will always be like, you go to Wendy's, I can get something at the dollar menu. What? Or McDonald's at the dollar. I said, no, you don't want Sonic. Nah, they too high. Oh, it's okay to spend my money. But now that you're making money, you recognize that this place is expensive now. And so we talked about it again earlier, and he was like, we were rich. So to all y'all, the parents and the kids and everybody else and the moms and the dads listening to this, we put ourselves in a position to where we always want our kids to do better than us. And we want to make sure that, our kids' life was better than our life. And I guess that's what I did in his eyes, that we were rich. So he felt like he could get whatever he wanted to get. And to other people on the outside, it probably did seem like Chase was spoiled. But Chase had to work in order for him to get whatever he wanted.
Because I visualized my childhood way different. At the beginning of the year, of school year, August, September, before October, you had midterms. If we had a C, we was on punishment from the rest of October to November, and then by Black Friday, you checked on our grades. If it's up, we getting something for Black Friday. If it's not, we stayed on punishment till Christmas. And then those first quarter or second week quarter. Now I think they used to do first and second. So first quarter came out before October 31st. So that's how we determined if we went to go trick-or-treating or not. And then you had the second quarter. Mm-hmm. That's how you determined if we got Christmas or not. And then third quarter, that's how we would determine if we was going to get spring shoes. Mm-hmm. And then the last quarter, that's how we determined if we was going to have a birthday or not. But always the first 4 quarters was being on punishment. Then the last 4.5 weeks was, did your grades come up? Then we enjoyed our 4 weeks of playing the game, going outside. I envision my childhood totally different.
Well, not a lot of people envision that different. They thought you was spoiled. I even asked Delson.
I visualized that I went through a totally different process.
Well, they thought you were spoiled. The only reason because I guess, Christmas and stuff like that, a lot of kids don't remember how their Christmas was unless they got pictures to look to see all the gifts. And then when you get older and you see your little cousins or something, or, like you see your uncle kids, your little cousins, they like got a whole bank, but you had a whole bank of stuff too.
Right.
And a lot of kids don't see that. But I think for other people, this is where the perception and the materialistic thing in our culture makes a difference. Mm-hmm. Because they seeing this, but they don't know what you go through. It's kind of like what you get, excuse me. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of like
you
don't see the struggle or the steps behind scene. You always see the stuff, the shiny stuff. Right. Yeah, you already see the results. And no, that's exactly how it was for us.
That was totally different. I never did
understand.
Yeah, you totally
different. But check this out. Where I'm getting back to, why did you think we were rich?
Because I was able to get what I wanted.
See? That's why they thought you was spoiled.
I know I had to work for it.
But you had to work for it.
But I understand the concept till later.
I know, but that's not the point. We're not talking about the early, the later. We're talking about.
But we are still.
We're talking about the concept.
The question is what the process is.
Right.
But this the process. The process I still didn't have no understanding. We're not talking about.
Well, you thought we were rich.
And that was the process before me being an adult. I didn't have a clear understanding of the difference between this is mama money, mama gotta go to work. I only saw
why did you think that
I can't go back to that little
why you don't think about the process of your grades and stuff then? The reason
because it didn't translate, because it was only meant for Chase, you do good in school, you're going to get this.
Right. Okay, but there was money tied to that.
But there was no value in my life because I knew I wasn't sacrificing to get the money. All I had to do was get grades and do the chores. Those was the value placed on me, and that's it. That's the only thing that mattered. You didn't place the value of, well, this is how money works, and this is how money is dished out.
I started that when you turned 13. That's when you got your cell phone.
But that's cool. But we only speaking on the food. But you can't throw cell phone when we only talking about food.
Yes, we can. Yes, we can. Here, number one, food come in. Two, with when you got older on 13, that's the high you think Sonic was your thing.
Okay.
Until
then when did
you start working there at 16.
And do you remember the reason why I wasn't eating at Sonic?
Oh, well, you didn't like that job, for one.
Okay, then.
So, that was the thing. But
I probably have said
but you also realized that was more money than when you went to McDonald's or Wendy's or whatever.
And
Burger King.
And I didn't realize they had a dollar menu because I never did know that's what to look for. I just looked at the pictures.
Yeah. You look at, not only that, it's what you wanted. It ain't about the price, it was just what you wanted.
Okay, do you also remember when we'd be at McDonald's or Wendy's and you would show us this the dollar menu right here?
Yeah.
So
answer me this. Did that because y'all started getting...
Did you ask that while we was at Sonic? Did you know where the dollar menu was at on Sonic?
Yeah. You didn't want the dollar menu. You wanted what you wanted.
Okay, so, but when we went to McDonald's and Wendy's, you said, Takir, don't order off this, order off that square right there.
Yeah.
So, do you think you could have prevented what I would have liked at Sonic?
I did, yeah, but I didn't go. That's how I prevented that, because you was like, I don't want nothing but this. You were adamant about what you wanted at Sonic. You got the choice anyway, because I always gave you choice for McDonald's and Wendy's. Sonic, you was adamant about.
Now you make me want to do research to see what was the prices, how their prices has changed from due to inflation from over the years.
It didn't matter because your mama was only making 20.
You was rich.
Look, let me tell y'all this.
You was rich.
I was not making a lot of money.
You was rich. A lot of equations go into this.
$20,000 for 3 people in a household. Come on.
A lot of
and back then, that was expensive, you guys. So you see now, your kids think you're rich. It doesn't matter.
What was minimum wage with that $20,000?
I wasn't minimum wage, but back then, minimum wage was like $5.
Okay, cool. With that being said, I have to go check some research to see what was the prices going for Sonic because
it was still high.
Restaurants goes based off of the inflations of the dollar.
It doesn't matter. It was still high, sweetheart.
But at least I would have a true sentiment to see.
I started making $16,000 19 years ago. I've been at my job for 19 years. I just had an anniversary, June the 11th, my work anniversary. And I just had my 2-year anniversary, June 15th.
Congratulations.
Thank you. So, I started making...
I'm going to ask you
$16,000 when I started there.
Okay.
Shoot. And then you were 4.
Okay.
And then, in them 4 years, hey, when I got to 20, come on. I don't care what kind of research you do, son. It was still high. It was more than the other restaurants.
So
that's why y'all didn't eat. That's why I didn't eat out a lot.
So was it still the same? Then why do you ask us what do we want for something quick? Was you expecting us to go somewhere else?
No. You just didn't and I get it. I'm not saying that there's nothing wrong.
Yeah, I know.
I'm just saying that you didn't understand how high Sonic was until it started coming out of your damn pocket.
Okay.
That's it.
What's wrong with that though?
A lot.
Why?
Because you can't. Any child.
If I was unknowledgeable or I was naive of what the value of a dollar, how you gonna put that over my head?
Because I'm gonna make sure when it comes out of your mouth with your kids, I'm gonna make sure I bring it up to you and say, don't do my babies like that. Get them what they want.
I doubt they would have more understanding than what I would have had.
They're gonna understand. They're gonna want what they want.
Well, the only reason they're gonna get what they want because there's gonna be business in play in their name based off of the inventory that they sell. So whatever their money is coming in, that's how that's gonna play.
Wait a minute. Is you gonna have my grandbabies doing business early?
Of course, if I can put them on the payroll and taxes can qualify for $12,000, why
You
not?
dang all right. You better work
So
them.
you see how with information that's given, I mean, of course, the information wasn't given to you, but you see
But
how.
I passed it on to you
Oh,
just to
so
give to them. Exactly.
it.
Exactly. They got to work for it, yeah. I mean, you're going to get double paid for them. You're going to carry them on your tax and get the tax. Yeah,
But they're going to
$12,000.
understand based off of what you gave it to me now.
Yeah.
So you just can't just throw like I don't understand.
I didn't say
because
what was the question?
The question was, why are you just not going to Sonic? There was a time where you just didn't go to Sonic.
Exactly.
Because it was too hot.
Exactly.
But now,
out of your money, out of your
let's
pocket.
put this in perspective. What if there was a way, the same way you drove education into us, and you understood what you know now, or you at least understood how the system works with money?
Mm-hmm.
Do you think it would have been a different outcome of what you would have known from the previous 19 years?
No, because it wasn't a bad thing. I had the control over it.
Correct. But
So
what about...
it was not a bad thing that you didn't know.
Okay, now what about with cash flow and understanding how compound interest work and how starting a business and things like that?
Oh, yeah.
You would have taught us early,
Oh,
and we
yeah.
would have had an understanding of this is why such and such.
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, because you would have seen it. It would have been so different. You would have been living with an entrepreneur at this point.
Correct.
So you would have known all the ins and outs of everything and not just learning now. You know, like we both learning. But just a different, age group. You in your 20s, I'm in my 40s, but we learning the same thing simultaneously so our future generation can be even wealthier from here on out.
But thank you for going through the struggles so I can understand
Absolutely.
now.
Absolutely. I mean, because I had a struggle that I had to go through in order to do another struggle to raise you
Right.
and create this.
Right.
Yeah. So my struggle was, a mom with not knowing anything about money, anything about saving, or anything about giving back to us,
Mm-hmm.
And so my whole perspective of raising and teaching and stuff was more focused on education and
Preparing me to be a worker.
No, I wasn't preparing you to be a worker. I was
That was the
preparing
whole,
you.
you go get a job, go get a good education, but that's the work.
Well, yeah, but it wasn't that per se because by the time you graduated, I really wasn't big on the education thing.
Because we had a conversation of what college is.
Well, to
Well, what
me,
about the learning?
I'm gonna tell
what
you
about
what.
the learning years?
Yeah, but I'm gonna tell you what really got me about college and stuff is my personal
Mm-hmm.
thing.
So you realized.
I
what was
realized
at play.
that getting my master's degree was a waste of time
Mm-hmm.
and a debt because I could have been just got an associate's degree with them and still been okay because it didn't even boost my level up at a job that I've been at for 19 years.
Right.
So, with that being said, I was in a position to where I was comfortable with,
Mm-hmm.
and part of it was my fault because I didn't want to get out and grow. You know what I'm saying? Because I was so comfortable where I was at, and getting my master's degree was just a personal goal because I had a baby early and I had to drop out of school.
Yeah, it's.
So by that point,
question.
your education thing and wherever you wanted to do, I was okay with, and I wasn't gonna be that parent like, no, you got to finish school, But at the time when you was in it with your accountant, yeah, you weren't gonna give up. I wasn't gonna let you quit. That was just that thing. Teach that lesson of you just because it's easier to quit. And if I let you quit this, then other things in your life, it, that would become a habit. And I didn't want you to have a quitting habit. That's it. Even though if you would never do anything with that accounting degree, you still got it. You started something and you finished it.
See, even part of that is like, what is the word for it? I can't think of the word, but just with that statement, I don't believe that statement wholeheartedly. The same way I don't believe in retirement wholeheartedly. Yeah, that's a good statement to play, but once you see that there's no real value of what continue moving forward and it's gonna cost you in the long run, and once you look back over and realize the time that I was contributing to this, when I know I wanted to work on myself and count on my own self and bet against my own self, I think it would work better putting your best foot forward into your own self by looking. But I get the principle.
That's if you have
I get the
it.
principle of
Yes.
of what you're saying, but
I guess because I see more examples than you.
correct. And
Your uncles,
it was like a more
your
so.
great uncles, Ronnie and
like,
all of them, they quitting.
it was more so like now. Well, I've been doing this for the past 2 years. Now I listen to people when they speak from fear,
Yeah.
and rather than speak from experience, I tune them out. Luckily, you're my mother, so I listen. But other people, I tune them out because why project your fear on me instead of telling me what you experience?
Yeah.
So I listen carefully to certain people. Even though I might have respect for somebody, once I hear fear being projected, I don't listen. It just a switch because I know if you haven't put yourself in, you're only telling me something that you never actually contribute to. And I realize as growing up with different generations and talking to people, regret is the biggest thing. So if people are only telling me their fears without telling me what they have done or experienced, what they can try, it's not valid.
Right.
Not saying there's no value with them telling their fears,
you, right.
but at the same time, I continue to listen enough to see if it was a time where they tried, they read, or they know someone that's doing it and they only looking at it from a outside perspective. Because even though they have a perspective, but it doesn't weigh so heavily on do I continue to listen or not. And it might be also, I'm also going through understanding, is it narcissistic or am I just self-centered to the point where I realize that a lot of things that how we was raised is just basically for us to be a worker. So things by trying things and risking things. Why is my voice cutting out? By risking things and trying things, a majority of us haven't tried. So they only talk about the things they witnessed somebody watch without really having their hands on. So it's just been like if majority of us has been implementing that and kids is younger. So when you see kids start talking about things to try but they scared, I also look back as the parents because even when we are raised, that's the first education we get. But if we not teaching our own from the household or working way, hey, come in here with me while I learn this. I'm learning this new skill, even though I might not quite understand. Just even in like Rich Dad Poor Dad, even though I might not understand, at least I seen it. I'm familiar with the words or the terms. I still got my brain to process to see, or if you put it on TV, I still have something to identify with as I get older, and then it clicks a little bit quicker. Well, instead of like, now I remember learning about this through it. I know I wanted to sign up for, I think it's called economics. Yes, for economics. I remember I wanted to sign up for it, but it didn't quite quick. It didn't quite click until I realized that okay, I know I need to detach my emotions from my shoes because I'm about to start selling shoes seriously. started doing and start looking at how scarce some things are, the demand for things are. Even though I know these certain terms of that business side, now that I'm in it, it's just as applying it. And even though I was going to use my accounting degree for self, but also teach others that's close to me if they had a question, it's just like it's all coming to play that at least I throwing myself into it by trying it because I know that's what I wanted to do. If I wanted to own something, but I know certain things from listening to you, like Chase, you do this, and listen to the network and other older people that comes in and say, oh, this what you might need to focus on, this what you, and just putting things into perspective of trying. So it's been more so just realizing that how I always been around it, but it's been more so like it haven't been really implemented as going to school, just to tie back into that
Right,
the education part and
Absolutely.
just counseling out. You can still go risk it all, but there's books and stuff that they still gonna give you that you can pay a certain amount of money for.
Yeah.
But the assets of what y'all done went through, the sacrificing of going through different roles, and now we have it. Then the tools is there, the assets is there,
Right, and
internet
that's what
there,
it is.
and
Yeah, and not to cut you off, but to go back to all that, you saying all that is true about the education, but like I try to tell my brother about our mom, you got to remember the times and
Right.
stuff. So what I say about and it's not value to you because it's not in y'all generation
Mm-hmm.
that it's okay for y'all to quit stuff because of the way y'all mind frame work.
Mm-hmm.
Like you say, how what is it, Snapchat and all that stuff. You know, you can be on something and it's gone the next day. You know what I'm saying? And it's something new. Y'all jump on it because everything is new to y'all.
Mm-hmm.
To us, and the reason why I say that line, I didn't want you to quit, is because you have that generation before me, which is my mom, always say, I wanted to go to this and I wish I did.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? They regret that they didn't do it. And then you got the two generations after her that can do it but want to quit.
Mm-hmm.
So I think for all of us, and culture-wise, we don't know all of this stuff that we know now because it wasn't taught to us.
Mm-hmm.
So your generation is more open to welcoming everybody. You know what I'm saying? My generation, we still just stuck with us, and we just learned what we were taught from the village.
Mm-hmm.
We wasn't more so having, you know, I can go over here and have so many, you know, these types of friends.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we just still stay here. So you either gonna make it or you're not gonna make it. What y'all gonna do? You know what I'm saying? You relying on your friends that's around you. Yes. It's like, well, I'm going to school.
Of people in different countries.
Exactly. So our thing was education was the way out to get to what you need to get. Business classes and things like that wasn't discussed. You know, everybody was afraid to have, because in our culture they made it seem like starting a business you needed a whole lot of money.
Mm-hmm.
So we wanted that business was definitely one. And we always either had football, basketball, doctor, lawyer. That's it. You know, no teachers or nothing. And I think part of that reason is because our culture don't know our history to where we can pretty much just sit down and say, hey, you know what I'm saying? If you look at the different cultures, the Mexican, the Hispanic, and the Latinos, and this, and you know, they can sit down and reach way back to, and let them know this is this. The lights, you know, at the top of your head, who invented the light? You know, we don't. When you think about the lights, you think about Benjamin Franklin.
Or Thomas Edison.
Or Thomas Edison. But those are not who
Right.
invented it.
That's not who invented it. They just,
That's who took the credit
that's who
for it.
patented it.
Exactly. And when we start to understand and know our history and teach our history to our kids much better, then we'll be better to understand what we truly want to do in our life. Because now our kids are seeing people that look like them that invented stuff,
Right.
that done stuff, that did this. You know what I'm saying? And I'm guilty of this too, because I can't tell you that man that invented the stoplight.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? It's just those little things. And at one point, as a single mother, I wanted to start letting y'all read books. Remember when I started it a little bit and then I stopped? That's because I just got busy. But I wanted to be more educated about our heritage and we, just history period. And so when we don't instill that in our kids, then we have this problem. We don't instill value and let our boys understand and appreciate who they are. Then they let the streets raise them. So they find that,
Mhm.
that gain and stuff, that love that they're looking for that they don't have at home, because either mom on drugs or mom's single and she got 2 jobs and it's just you and your kid. You the
Right.
oldest. You got to take care of your siblings. It's so many different distractions, and no one else see any better way out. So if we start implementing things like that in our culture, and the things that's going on with COVID-19 now, and they starting to realize, the white people are starting to realize that we didn't realize how this affected. That just from Mr. Floyd's death, that we spitting on them everywhere. They got all these monuments up, you know what I'm saying, about how they dog it, and they celebrate it, and didn't really bother to ask us how they make us feel.
Make us feel.
Exactly, because in their eyes, they was always winning. They make money off of us, so
Right.
therefore, that's why they trying to bring the world back, everybody back and stuff, because it's going down, because they see the value exactly of us.
We tired.
We're tired, and
We don't want it to go into the next generation.
exactly, and so we do spend our money with other people, and we got to stop that and start spending it with ourselves, because anytime you have someone that's overseas that sell our products, you don't know nothing about our hair. You don't even come eating in our food, our restaurants.
Mhm.
We got to wake up. And yeah, in y'all generations is just definitely tired. It's long overdue, but hopefully, I hope that we wake up and start building our own. We need to start back what was taken from us, what was burnt down in Oklahoma.
Right.
So anyway, that's my say about that. I don't want to get all into that, but this is the world that we're living in right now in 2020. We're facing COVID-19. Cases are rising, and I'm tired of them saying test is available now. I mean, that's great, but what about the cure? That's what matters. The cure. At first, yes, they was talking about there's not too many tests going around, this, that, you wear your mask, but we need a cure now.
I don't really believe in it.
You don't think it's nothing going on?
It's the same amount of the minimal deaths that happen when the flu shots go out, the flu season, same deaths. It's just to cause fear in us. Divide and conquer. If you separate the people and make them believe that there's something to cure all of this, people would think everything normal and everything else will go up under the rug. But there's different things that's going on with the next 20 years that's going to be implemented based off of who the president going to be in the next 4 years, who is going to be in office, who is going to be controlling what comes in and what
Yeah.
goes out. How can we monitor the people in the United States? That's what the cure is going to be about with the tracking device of nanobots. It's going to be small little bots that's going to go through our bloodstream that's going to be able to pick us up. Cars are having GPSs, so if you travel, our phone got GPSs.
Mhm.
While everybody phone service was out for a couple of days, they automatically downloaded in the health on our settings. If you turn it on to even try to enable like your location and stuff like that,
Mhm.
they can identify and arrest the people that was protesting. Even though you was probably peacefully doing so, by you just being guilty by association or being
Mhm.
there, they can allow to arrest you because you passed a certain time of what the implemented rule of a curfew.
Right.
So it's just different laws and stuff just to put on your record. So say if that's on your record, whatever you try to do moving forward, you got to explain that.
Mhm.
They implemented certain rules. If you have a record on, you can't get a job or you're not gonna be able to feed your family. So what else you got to do? You got to have government assistance. You have government assistance. Now you reliant on the government
Government.
to give you money, and if you don't meet the qualifications, oh well. Now you got to figure out other ways that's gonna get you in trouble.
And that's what
That's
you're
going
talking
to
about at
stop.
the end of this. It's going to separate the wealth from the middle class from the poor. Gotcha. And you know what? Also, what I've heard, and I don't know, we talked about it, how the Russians do.
Right.
Yeah.
Well,
So.
because they realize how we even got into slavery was mind manipulation, which was all based off of psychology. Everything that's big into play that's been going forward, psychology. If you able to separate the most dominant person out of a family, everybody else will fall. You kill the black man, what the mother gonna do? She got to do more and cover two roles just to provide for the kids.
Right.
If you break the holy trinity and there's only one, that kid will never have balance. Now he or she gonna grow up searching for balance and being frustrated because she don't know what two sides look like.
Absolutely. That's why they did what they
And so
did in slavery.
if you only able to see and use your one side of the brain, you have a female brain and you have a male brain. If you never get to exercise both of them or understand and have a balance, then you will only be dominant on one side.
Yeah.
And then while you realize why things not going right or you can't comprehend things fully because you don't have a balance in the brain, the other brain hasn't been turned on for you to comprehend what's into play while you're not aware of certain things. While you are stopping yourself from growing because you only know this one role and you don't know
Mhm.
the other side. So you go searching for the other side in the different ways. So you spend majority of your time searching instead of realizing you got everything you need, but you just blocking the people that you really need to get it from.
Right. Yeah.
But everything is due to psychology.
Mhm.
Russians invented psychology. They didn't invent it. They understand psychology more because that's they always been in play.
Mhm.
I can't talk about it much more because I know the more you talk about it, the more you become a threat. So I can't say too much.
Right.
But as long as I understand what's going
That's what we was
on
talking
moving
about.
forward,
Absolutely.
it's just
And it's the world. And it's sad that we living in a world like this. So hopefully.
well, we just live in the United States that's built like this.
Yeah.
That's it.
That's it.
It's just us, cause
Do you think
we more than one. We more than one thing. We just
Right.
not a
Yeah.
Republican. We
Yeah.
a dictatorship. We a communist. We allow so many things
You're
to
right.
go and play. That's because we only have one role. We don't call no shots. We have an illusion that we do call shots. The Pope and the Queen, they call the shots for here. It's just puppet masters that's running here that makes us think the office is the everything that's going into play. So they can create certain systems where they think that they the highest control, but the more the people, the more they control the office, the more we rally, the more things that come in play. Martial law is only enforced when things can't get ordered here.
Mhm.
But that's the same thing they do with the military when they go overseas and They try to gain order, no order. They do riots and stuff. So what they do, they bomb. Then once they bomb, what happens? They go they give them all the money to rebuild. Now the kids doing the same thing that they saw.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a continued thing that if you able to move your money here and taking money out from your home, from your own people, what does that cause for the people that's at home? I'm searching for and working hard here to make you money here, but you keep giving money there because you keep bombing.
Mm-hmm.
Now, as you turn them into workers, now you're making money two ways.
So is that why with why people always say, this is 2020 now, we still marching for the same thing we was marching 50 years ago.
Correct. But it's the same play.
Right.
In order for your generation to go what they went through, what happened? Two people had to be killed.
Mm-hmm. Talking about Martin Luther King and
Malcolm
Malcolm X. Because now you don't have a strong... People are afraid to speak out because they know you're going to...
CIA gonna always do what they need to do to make sure that the conspiracy theorists is continue to go on. If things can't be confirmed, if people can't comprehend precisely.
Right. Well, they always wanted to stop you. What is something happened, low battery? Oh.
No, that's good. That's still filming though.
Oh, okay. So,
But, and just like, as I always say, I'm going to like my friends and family home, but I'm not going to speak out to the world because...
You're going to put a target on your back.
Put a target on my back.
Absolutely.
So, if anything happens to me, it wasn't me, it wasn't a suicide, or it wasn't a homicide.
Mm-hmm.
So, I don't care what picture they try to play.
Hey, you already know I know. So.
But they're just
whoever bring it to me, I'm going to bring it to them.
That's the hardships of it.
Yeah.
I'm
gonna be the one they write about that say the people that came to them and said they son, did a suicide. They son came up.
It's just the same as at first when we start reading. The more you try to align your own, they eliminate you.
Yeah, eliminate. Yeah, that was the whoopings and stuff back then. A nigga.
Because if you can read your way out of slavery, you can write your own, you can read, you can just write and comprehend your way out of slavery. Based off of, I am no longer, such and such, no longer a slave, sign such and such. Mm-hmm. And you can sign whoever name that whoever your owner was. As long as you had that piece of paper,
and you can walk.
You can walk free.
Mm-hmm.
But if you didn't know that, like we know today, if you was pushed back and no, you can't do this, blah, 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 I'm going to strip you down from using violence, then you're going to be scared to pick up a book, a piece of paper, or a pen. But out of all these years, we know now, but...
Right, and they still do it. It's the way they word the books for the information. Right. So, that saying from ours, if you ever want somebody to know something, put it in a book, niggas ain't gonna read it anyway.
Right.
So.
But we're gonna end off that note. We only can record, as we know, no more than an hour. Tune in next month. I'll be home. I was gonna try to go to Fort Smith, but I ain't gonna be able to make it during Independence Day for up there in Fort Smith, but I ain't gonna be able to go. So
we're not celebrating Independence Day.
Well, let's not forget, even though Juneteenth is when we became free, but Independence Day is when we was able to enjoy our freedom. Doesn't mean I'm celebrating, but that just means
you don't celebrate nothing.
I don't celebrate none of these holidays.
Right.
Because I understand the bigger play. Mm-hmm. You make a national holidays, the more money goes out. It's good for the investing side of me, but the overall integrity in me, nope.
Yeah, we're not doing it either.
That's cool. Okay.
Yeah, after all of this, it makes sense. We would be dumb to continue on.
We'd be hypocrites.
Exactly.
So,
Doing a barbecue and
That's
look.
what I treat
And
every
then
day.
I just bought all my red, white, and blue. I guess I have on yard sale.
And that's it.
Hmm.
That's what I treat every day like a birthday. Be grateful that you were able to enjoy it today. So whatever
Yeah.
you choose to do today, do it. You know you got to do some responsibilities, handle it.
Yeah.
If you feel like chilling, chill. But take advantage of each day that you give it.
Yeah.
Don't plan too far and don't regret nothing that you didn't get to do. Just do it now.
Yep. That's good advice.
We'll see y'all in another video. Dioneedra Smith is up out of here.
He's so funny, guys. All right, guys. Thank y'all for listening. And always, we'll see y'all next time. Peace.
Peace.
Got them too. You see that?
I
You didn't
see
even
it.
recognize that.
I saw it. I saw it.